What would you say, which has been your greatest accomplishment personally and your greatest accomplishment professionally?
Wow. My greatest accomplishment personally was being married for over 39 years and having um, children that was successful. My greatest accomplishment personally, because I had three girls,
Mm-hmm.
so I was a girl's dad. So that's why I'm you talking about young men. Man, I wish a young man would. I tell him that. And my greatest professional accomplishment probably was getting my undergrad degree.
Mm.
Cause my graduate degree, well, that's a kind of personal too, but my probably life still living. I don't know what my best professional one is, but it was seeing the greatest honor that I have is seeing some of my players turn into what they turn into
Mm-hmm.
because I see that I see their vulnerabilities and I see their kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
In the Superman, I see their kryptonite a little bit. I see what can make them shudder a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that they don't. I hope they overcome that. But seeing people graduate, seeing people accomplish things. You told me you talked to one of my ex players who's a principal, and one of my ex players who is the superintendent of
Mm-hmm.
schools, and people who are some of my players who are doctors and dentists and things like that. And they wanted us plumbers because the plumbers charge me more than my doctors do. So I appreciate them too. It was my greatest accomplishment. Hanging in there, doing 43 years in education before I retired.
43 years in education. That's remarkable. And that's longer than some people even live. And you were able to do that in education and effectively impact life.
Mm.
That is super huge. Do you have any regrets about anything at, within a 43-year span?
Well, I never use I I haven't used drugs since I was in my 20s. Well, I smoked weed, and I might as well go buy some now. But I can take it down there. I don't smoke. I haven't smoked since the 80s, early 80s. So, and I never drank, and I never gambled. I stayed away from the 3 game losing streak. What I tell my players: drugs and alcohol, gambling, and too many women.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 game losing streak. You can't win. I look at guys like Shannon Sharp and guys like Michael Irvin, and you just get to the point. You got some beautiful girls, you got some beautiful women,
Yeah.
but you can't, like I said, you can't have them all, man. And
Yeah.
you can't get caught up. You can't get caught up. But if I had to have one regret is having a daughter at a young age without giving her the even though she's doing better than I am now, she owned houses and stuff like that, but without giving her the things that she needed at an early age,
Mm.
and that was a mom and a dad to be together.
Mm.
So that's the only thing I regret.
So, well, you have witnessed and you have evidence a union is important when having children.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that if you're gonna have a child, it's hard to raise kids. They want everything. They want to have you want them to have everything,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't get it to them. So, I mean, you got to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I remember looking at some pictures when I was a kid. I mean, we're looking at this picture when my kids were younger, and watching them. I'm at the circus or something, and they're enjoying themselves, and I'm not really. I'm stressed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the biggest thing about being retired now. Somebody say, "What time you get up?" I say, "Whatever time I want to get up."
Mm-hmm.
Time you go to bed, whatever time I want to go to bed. What you do all day, whatever I want to do. Really, whatever I want to do. So I said, you stay in the house all day? I said, sometimes. Because sometimes I didn't have time to go home. I was so busy. So I stay in the house.
You said looking at that picture, you were stressed. Why was that?
I was tired, but I had to go. I had to go with my daughters. I had to go. I was tired. So that mean I wish I could have stayed at home, but they wouldn't have had a smile on their face.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we got a segment in the show, Coach. It's called a 2-minute drill, where I reel off some questions for 2 minutes, and you bang, bang, bang. It's not a lot of thought to it. You give me your answer, and then we kind of go from there. And so I want to ask you this before I get into the 2-minute drill. Do you remember one time you said to me, and this has stuck with me since you said it to me. It was back in college. You said, if you too big to do the small things, then you're probably too small to do the big things.
Yeah.
I never forgot that. I never forgot that.
If you're too big to do the small things, you might be too small to do the big ones. Because you never know what it means to somebody. Sometimes everybody want to be on TV. I played in a movie, One in a Million. LeVar Burton, who had just came off of making the movie, the documentary miniseries Roots, he was the star, and I was his double. He couldn't play baseball, and I had to make the movie look official.
Mm-hmm.
And but you can make a movie look whatever way you want to look. Mm-hmm. When I slid, they brushed me off, put baby powder on my bright uniform. That uniform was still dirty. You know, when they washed my face. You did one part of the movie. The beginning of the movie you might have did that at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. So those are the kind of things I look at as I go through my journey. So.
Okay. All right. And so we at the 2-minute portion segment of the Say It With Your Chest podcast. It's 2 minutes. I'm going to give you multiple questions, and you answer them how you feel is best appropriate. And just when you say it, all that we ask is that you say it with your chest. And so if you got to pick an artist, you going with Michael Jackson or Prince, and why?
I wasn't a Prince fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't follow Prince. I followed the Jacksons.
Okay.
I followed the Jacksons. I didn't follow Michael Jackson. I followed the Jacksons, and it takes a lot of work to get a group together and make music and still be at the top.
Yeah.
So I say Michael Jackson.
Okay, Michael Jackson. There we go. And so who you picking? You got one pick only, and you got to pick between two players, and those two players are Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Who are you picking, and why?
Well,
no, you got to say it with your chest, Coach.
No, I'm going to say it with my chest. I'm not going to stutter either, like I used to. I saw LeBron James in high school, and he was the best ball player I had ever seen at that stage and age of development. He looked like Scottie Pippen in his prime. He passed the ball like Magic Johnson. He jumped like Dr. J. He had the exuberance of Secretariat to Horse, and he had the poise of Oscar Robertson. So I said that when he was in high school.
Oof.
And he never missed a beat. He's just never been hurt. So I would choose Mike, except I got to pick LeBron because most of LeBron's teammates like him. Mike's teammates didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a lot from a coach's point of view. From a coach's point of view, I would have loved to have Mike on my team. I apologize. I mean, for saying that Mike, but LeBron, if I had to pick one player to start my team,
Mm-hmm.
that's who it would be.
That's who it would be. Halle Berry or Jennifer Lopez, date night. Just a date night. You get to go out with whichever one you want to go out with. Wherever you want to go. Just a date night. J-Lo or Halle Berry?
Tanya Renee Washington, my wife. All the rest of them, they've been around too many. They've been around too many people.
Okay. So okay. All right. They got too many miles on it. What you
They
say?
got been around too many people. I put it that way.
Okay. They got too many miles on them. Say what you said. No, I don't been around. They got too many miles on. That's what you're saying.
I said it on my chest. They've been around too many people.
So what that mean? You've been around a lot. You've been in movies. You've been around a lot of people. They got too many miles on them. Is what you're saying?
They've been around too. Yeah. Okay, I said it that way.
I mean, what? That's the only way.
I let you answer.
No,
I let you answer my question.
No, I can't answer your question.
Okay.
And so, who is the best unknown athlete that you ever played with or against? And when I say unknown, I mean that you haven't heard of them in the newspaper. You haven't seen no movies, no documentaries on them, or none of that. The best unknown athlete that you ever played with or against.
Wow. My dad. My dad was a great softball player, and all I wanted to be was like him. I haven't seen anybody that he never argued with the referees. He was always the top and the batting and the hitting. I saw him grow older. But in his prime, I didn't see anybody any better. All the rest of the people I saw on TV, or I might see. I don't see come home and go to work and still do what he was doing.
Yeah.
So he's probably the best side. That never was in the newspaper, unless they speak interviewing him about me.
I love it. Last question: what, and why is your favorite gospel song?
Never could have made it. That's my favorite. But I got so many favorites.
Marvin Sapp. Yeah, me too.
But I'm gonna name that one only because the first question you asked me, who was responsible for me being? How was I responsible for being? All these people that came into my life helped me, and they shaped me. And a lot of people didn't understand me. 'Cause I was a competitor who was not a cutthroat competitor. I wasn't a cutthroat competitor. I worked you, or one guy asked me. One guy asked me what as one of my players what was it like. One of my players asked him what kind of player was I as a baseball player, and he said, I didn't know. I said I don't know how to answer because I don't know. The guy said he's older now. He's a little older than me. He said, "You want me to tell him?" I said, "You can tell him, but I couldn't explain." He was always one of the best players on the best team. He's always one of the best players on the best team. So that sums it up. Coming from Detroit and playing professional baseball was very difficult because you never played in the winter. And playing infield, because if you look at all your infielders, they come from California, Florida, or one of the islands. So, and I was fortunate to play infield. I was fortunate to play infield through the grace of God. So I would never would have made it.
Love it. I love it. Coach, I can't express how much you mean to so many people, including myself. You are a man of integrity and character that is unmatched, and the man that I've been fortunate enough to encounter in my life. I definitely appreciate your presence in my life. I can tell countless stories of you, and that I had to.
But there's a couple of things you can't say.
What's that?
You can't say you saw me drinking.
Never.
You can't say you saw me smoking.
Never.
You can't say you saw me messing with my wife.
Never.
If you saw me looking at a girl or a lady, you be lying because you never was in an environment where I looked at ladies.
Right.
So anything else?
Going back to what I said, that you are a man whose character and integrity is unmatched, and I am ever so grateful to have your presence in my life, and for you being in my life. And so I remember, and I'm gonna say this in closing. I was at a Final Four, and the head coach of Harvard University, Tommy Amaker. He was with his wife, and I walked up to him and I said, "Coach, you remember me? And Coach Washington. Yeah, Coach Washington." He said, "Hey, tell him this," and he said your number right by heart. Didn't look at his phone or nothing. Gave me your number by heart, which I know by heart. Right there with his wife, right on the middle of the street. Believe we was in New Orleans, and he said, "Tell him 313-22222. Tell him, make sure you tell him I said that." He knew your number by heart, by heart.
Well, Tommy Amica was coach at the University of Michigan at one time too. So he came to Detroit, and Detroit coaches gave him a hard time. They wouldn't send in no players. They and I told him, I said, Coach Amica, he was parked behind me. He was standing by his car, just shaking his head. What just happened? I said, I'm Henry Washington. I'm the coach of Macomb College. I said, you'd never get one of my players because we don't. You just school don't take community college players. Things changed since then.
Right.
But his school don't take community college players. I said, but most of those guys got more bark than bite. You don't want to fool around with half of them anyway.
Mm.
And he remembered that, and then yeah. And he got a job at Harvard. When he got the job at Harvard, he called me. I called him and asked him how he was doing. He said he was kind of depressed. So he said, a year ago today, I was head coach at the University of Michigan. I said, man, who are you complaining to? I said, your mother educated, your auntie's educated.
His wife.
And your wife is a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
She's a doctor of psychiatry. She works at the oldest university, oldest psychiatric hospital in America. I said, you trying to tell me that you work at Harvard University? You trying to tell an educator you don't complain to me? He said, you all right, because yesterday I just looked at my book. A year ago today I was meeting with Coach at Pershing. He said, yesterday I was meeting with one of Bill Gates' assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So listen, once again, it's been a privilege and pleasure to have you on our podcast, Say It With Your Chest, none other than 1 in a million Detroit Tiger legend, Henry Legend Washington. We thank you so much. And remember, when you say it with your chest. Reporting live from the Hot Sam's headquarters, downtown Detroit. And all we ask you to do is just say it with your chest. Till next time.